I saw the text on the text you guys sent out.
Yeah.
I saw that. I read it. I'm like, oh, make sure it's on. I actually wasn't coming.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to go.
Was that 2 weeks ago? I know. That was actually. That was fun. Last week was Thanksgiving. Yeah, you're right.
Are we live? Good morning, Signature. Hey. It seems like forever since I stood up here. So, it's exciting. This means the board stuff is winding down and I'm so excited. So, you'll see a lot more of me. I appreciate you guys' patience this past year as I went and tried to volunteer my service to make a difference with our association. And I'm not sure if I did or not, but we worked hard trying, right, Ellie? Right? All right, so with that being said, we got the sales meeting today. We've got the topic up there. We have the shift, but I don't want you to be tied onto that topic because Beta put me under some pressure yesterday and said, hey, I need a topic for the sales meeting. And I said, okay, here's one. And then I got to thinking about what I was really going to talk about. It's really not the shift, but we'll talk more about the signature difference. I'll give you an update of what we got coming up in 2023 for signature and some of the stuff and a recap of some of the tools and stuff that we do provide you guys that maybe you guys aren't aware of or have just forgot about or don't use enough. So with that being said, let's start off with some buyer and seller needs. Anyone in the audience have a buyer or seller need? Roy.
So good morning, everyone. We need we're looking for an Airbnb property, preferably single story if possible, under 400. So if you have a property that you think would be a great Airbnb, let us know. We also have 3 single story listings that we have in 89123, 89014, which is Henderson, and then 89052, which is also Henderson. And those are from 455 to 360. One of them was appraised at 380, so you're walking into equity on that one too. So if you have some buyers in that price range, just let us know, and we'll be happy to come give you some more details.
Awesome. Anyone else? Come on, there's got to be listings out there that aren't selling.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I got a beautiful,
I know you neither. How many do you want?
just one, and I just need one sold, this one right here. But it is a fabulous home, 2,400 square feet, completely remodeled, completely rebuilt. And this is a brand new home in Sun City, Maryland. We were priced at $6.25, which was the lowest price in the community for that model. We're now at $5.99.
Wow.
So anybody looking for a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, beautifully, completely remodeled, all brand new home, let me know. Thanks. Bye.
Beautiful. Anyone else? Come on, Adam, you got one. He's scrambling to find which one he wants to talk about. Thomas, you? Anybody? You just don't want to?
I'll bring it up.
How can you see the Caden.
It's the same listing.
Same listing. Somebody help him sell it so he doesn't have to.
Someone bring me some buyers. I got a couple houses on Henderson. I got one that's got a renter in it at $1,700 a month. Homer Highway, Russell, 2-bedroom, 3-bath. I've got another one around the corner from there, $440,000. Beautiful remodel home, actually. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,900 square feet. And I've got one out in the northwest for $750. Horse property sits on a full acre, good for chickens. Friend of mine's house only got 16 chickens, so. If you want 16, I'll throw the 16 chickens in if you find me a buyer.
There you go. You heard it here first. There you go, Masako.
I have it's kind of new home, but the owner want to sell. We just buy a few months later. He paid $40,000 for upgrade. What's this called? Cadence?
Yeah.
In your home area. And now price is $556. If you guys have a buyer, please help me out because already 3 months no offer. So thank you.
Okay, very good.
Henderson, huh? Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Just don't want to share, huh? Okay. Very good. Well, let's start off with our mortgage moment with Prosperity Lending and Shelly Panzarella. Give her a hand. Come on, give her a hand.
It's been a minute that I've been up here too, I feel like. I don't have the great excuse that Brandon has. All right, so have you guys heard of the Home First program from Nevada Housing? Woo! Yes, no, look at, all right. Well, I'm
Let's
going
talk
to
about
share with you.
One more. There we go.
Ellie always gets this picture of me. I don't know what it is. All right. So the Home First just launched November 21st. The reason we're sharing this for you today is because there's only 7.5 million available, 15,000 homeowners, which equals, $15,000, which equals 500 homeowners who can take advantage of this program. The biggest thing is going to be $15,000, which you see here, forgivable second, much like our normal Nevada housing program. However, this can only be used towards their down payment or principal reduction or equity position. One of the main differences here versus the first-time homebuyer program, which is still eligible, and I'll share with you what that looks like, is you have to be a Nevada resident, which is something that they've never imposed before. So one buyer on the loan has to have lived in Las Vegas for the last 6 months, verified through a Nevada driver's license. Only one of the borrowers. What else? They have a little bit higher of a purchase price, so for the first-time home buyer here in Clark County, that maximum purchase price is like $349. You can go up to $570, but of course you have to be within your loan limit. So FHA today is still the $420,000, and the conventional is $715. Same FICO score requirement, 660, and you still have that 45% debt-to-income ratio. The other difference is going to be the 3-year forgivable. So with our current first-time home buyer, you have the 3-year prorated forgivable, meaning that if you're in the home and you decide to sell or refinance halfway through, you would pay a portion of that. In this particular case, that balance, that $15,000, would be forgiven after 3 years from actually November 21st. So if you happen to buy a house next month, it would actually be 2 years and 11 months that you'd have to, that would be forgiven for you. So those are the main differences there. Beta, will you flip to the next screen or flyer?
Qualified with 1-year tax return?
2 years still. 2 years still for self-employed. This is the thing here. So the other difference is going to be family size. You want to push up on that one? Right here, yeah. Family size. So the income limits for a first-time home buyer in Clark County is $84,000. That's the 2 to 4% assistance program, the original program. The new one, if you look here, it's a little bit lower on income limits, but this is also for family size. So if you've got husband and wife, and you have 3 kids, you'd actually be looking at a $97,000 max income limit to qualify for this program. And again, that higher amount. So if you have any questions on this, we do have flyers that we can co-brand for you and with you. Please get with one of your favorite prosperity lending loan officers. Yeah, Ellie.
Shelley, if someone used this program about 8-9 years ago and they sold a home and they're now renting, can they use it again, or are they done one time in their life?
Technically, it's one time in your life, but you know, if one of the other is not, like if they get married or whatever the case is, the other person could actually use the program if they were not on the original.
Okay.
But it is a once in a lifetime thing, and they'll verify it through tax returns.
Is that for any government assistance?
So like the culinary is different. Culinary doesn't go through the state. Keep in mind this is also a statewide program. So those 500 buyer or 500 families is statewide. It's not just in Nevada. The one that we had a while ago was like home. The one that was specific to zip code.
Yeah,
It was zip code specific, $20,000. That was here in Nevada, in Las Vegas, but this is statewide. So get the message out there, $7.5 million. Get with one of your prosperity lending loan officers to talk about marketing for you guys. We've thrown it out there, but it is open for reservations today. Any other questions for me? All right. Thank you guys. Have a great week.
Awesome. Thank you. And another tool for you to help get buyers qualified and into properties. Let's move on to stuff from Janet. Janet Carpenter.
Stuff from
I don't know what else to call it. It's lots of stuff.
We came up with that name many years ago.
Many years ago.
Okay, so first of all, I want to remind all of you about our client appreciation event on Saturday, this Saturday, 9 to 12, at our brand new office on Grand Montecito. This is for you to invite your clients, bring their kids. Santa will be there. We'll have a coffee truck. We'll have a shredding truck so they can get rid of all the papers in their garage.
Lois is making pancakes.
Lois?
Lois. is
And
making-
our own Lois is going to be chef, making the pancakes that will also be served. 9 to 12, invite your clients. We've always had an agent who paid anonymously for Santa, and if you'd like to donate to help pay for Santa, we need $200. So, see Sharon.
We need Santa money.
I got a Santa.
You got a Santa?
They don't need a Santa, they just need the money.
Okay, next thing,
Our Santa from Signature Dome.
Oh, no, he's a professional.
he's professional, he's not a
He doesn't
volunteer.
volunteer his time.
He makes big bucks during December. Okay, Thursday, December 8th at 9:30, Southwest is going to be hosting, for anyone who wants to come, a brunch, potluck, and white elephant exchange. If you want to come, you're welcome to come. Please RSVP with Savannah at the front desk and bring an unwrapped gift with no name, a wrapped gift, wrapped $25 in value. Okay, next thing coming up, Friday, December the 9th, will be the installation of our own Tom Blanchard as state president. If you want to go and celebrate Tom's big night, today is the last day to make reservations. So keep that in mind. It's Friday, the 9th. Starts at 5 o'clock and it will be at the inn. Friday, December 16th at 5 o'clock, the Green Valley office will be hosting their holiday party and White Elephant Exchange. And then Saturday, December 17th at 5 o'clock, every other office is invited to go to the Northwest office for our holiday party.
Same thing, what day?
What day what?
Last
They
one.
could do both, but
17th, Saturday the
At what
17th,
time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
it's the same food,
Okay, so the other thing too is coming up
just
Friday.
different location.
Brandon will be honoring everybody who has served on a committee at the best Christmas party of the year at the Four Seasons, but it's by invitation
2
only.
years in a row.
If you did not serve on a committee, sorry, you're not invited, but by the end of the month, I'm going to tell you, at one of the meetings, I will tell you, every committee you can serve on, just say, yes, I want to do that, and then next year, you too will be invited to the best Christmas party ever.
And it's a nice party, by the way.
It's at the Four Seasons.
I always have.
So, that's all I have, thank you.
Okay. So Janet did mention the 2 Christmas parties, or the 2 holiday parties, one on the 16th in Green Valley and one on the 17th in the Northwest. The Northwest is combined for the Southwest office and the Northwest office, and then Green Valley's office. People have asked me, why are you separating them out? The reason, not separating anybody from anything. I mean, you're welcome to go visit them in Green Valley. It's just the same as they're welcome to come visit everyone on this side. The fact of the matter is it's easy for the people in the Southwest to say, why are we dividing it up? Because it's always in your office and it's always convenient for you. And so we're trying to make it convenient and get more engagement from everybody. So you'll see people at both probably, but overall, we're hoping to get more people to come in and enjoy the night and the festivities. So with that being said, we do have our paper and pancakes, like she said. That is a great event. How many years we've been doing that? Almost 10? 10 years. So since the beginning of Signature. We've been doing the paper and pancakes, and it is a great event. It's grown over the years, and it is client appreciation, so I recommend that you really push your clients to come out and enjoy the time and show up. There's lots of kids that show up. They get pictures with Santa. There's, I know a Lineology that used to be next to our Hillwood office. They're going to be there giving free massages.
Massages and Grinch.
The Grinch will be there, so it'll be a great event, and it's just a few miles, a mile and a half from my house, so I'll be there for sure. Oh, and then the reason we combined the Southwest and the Northwest together in the Northwest, because we did the potluck for the Southwest down here and the Northwest there. We brought 2 offices basically together, and so we thought it was important this year to just kind of keep everyone together in that regard, and then next year we'll separate them
And Sun
out.
City's invited.
Yeah, all the satellites are office, Sun City, downtown, and our newest location in Sky Canyon. So, 10 years. 10 years, this year, Signature will be in existence. That's pretty awesome. So this is our 10-year anniversary. We'll celebrate in June of this coming year. And when I look back, I think, man, we've come a long way. And I got a little bit of time to reflect over this last month because our very first location was Hillwood Drive. Who's been in Hillwood Drive? Okay, that's where we started. And we started with about 8,000 square feet, and then we ended up with another 3,000 plus another 3,000 down the hall where we ran property management. And then we scaled back and I moved out the last stuff that we're keeping yesterday. I was there by myself, so I got to tear it up and look back at the thing and think about it. But we've come a long way from starting out with myself and just leading a franchise brand and deciding what I wanted to do. And my business partner, Mike, and we decided, okay, we're going to go for it. We're going to open a 100% company, and we'll see what happens. And we were blessed right off the beginning because Janet came aboard. So she's been with us for the full 10 years. Ashley came over right at the beginning. So I've got great people that have been with me for, I'll get there. And I've got great people on staff that have been with me from the very, very beginning. And I also have agents that started 10 years ago, like Sherry KK and many others. Ellie was towards the beginning of the first, that have been here from then. So I really thank you guys for being with me on this journey or being with us on this journey as we've gone through. It's been exciting. We've had ups, we've had downs, we've had changes in the market. I mean, 2013 was still a down market coming out of the Great Recession. And then we've gone into what was just gangbusters over the past couple of years, and now we're shifting into what?
A real market.
A normal market, right? It's an adjustment. Somebody's moving the cheese, if you haven't read that book. It just, all of a sudden, things changed on how we get business and how easy it was to get a buyer in or not get a buyer in, how easy it was to get a listing sold or not get a listing sold, right? And it happened fast. And it happened after we had a record market here in Vegas. There was over 50,000 transactions done. That's over 100,000 commission checks handed out in our valley in 2021. Coming out of COVID, right? And so it was a crazy, crazy time. And so we've got this record thing, and we continue to set records all the way through the year until like August, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, right? It felt like it stopped because it was so fast, and now it's normal. And could scare some of you to say that this is a normal market. And what I mean by that is a normal market is you're going to have some inventory, your buyer's going to have some selections, you're going to have some loan programs to help people get into properties. Sellers are going to pay some concessions and stuff. There's some negotiation going to be done on properties to get them in. It's a good time to be in real estate. It's a tough time when you've started in a fast market and you have to relearn this, right? Because we haven't developed the skills necessarily to get there. But we're developing very quickly. We're adapting because we have to, right? And agents coming into the business now, this will be their normal or their baseline that they start from, and they'll be better agents in the future because they'll learn the hard way, right? It used to be what? You just hold an open house, you got a buyer, what was your biggest problem? Finding them a house, right? If you took a listing, what was your biggest problem? All the offers you had to go through to go back and to respond to everyone and the calls and the frenzy on those listings. Well, now you can take a breath. But I'm going to tell you, whether it was the market before when it was fast and furious or it's the market today, listings are still the name of the game. List to last. All your marketing should be to generate more listings. And you know why? Because when you market your listings, what does that bring you? Buyers, right? And we pay so much money to third parties to buy leads when all we have to do is go out and get some listings and put some signs in the yard and run some ads, and what will happen? We'll get some phone calls and we'll get some interest, and those will be the people that are actively looking for what? A house. And how many of you want buyers today? How many of you need buyers today? We all do, right? We need them for our listing. We need qualified, motivated people to buy and sell real estate. And so it's just an adapt there. A few weeks back, I put on Facebook in the Agents of Signature group, if anyone wanted to meet with me, right, and go over your business plan, all you had to do is register, and then I sent a link out, and they got into my calendar, and they scheduled a time, and I'm surprised about how many of you didn't take advantage of that. Like, really? I mean, it didn't cost you anything. It was somebody to sit down and just talk about your business plan and just go through the process, right? I wasn't going to sell you anything. There's no gimmick. I mean, it was truly just about you and your plan, and ideas to help you grow your business over the next year. So if you're still interested, or if you're interested now, or you're still interested, if you just send me a message in the Signature app, we can set up a time and we'll schedule a call, a video call. You can do it from your home, you can do it wherever. Then we'll just work on your business and help you going into the next year. Sound good? No? Okay. Then no message. All right, good. I mean, even Todd Barton set a time to meet with me. You know, the master at business planning, and here he is, and I said, why? And he said, well, somebody with a different perspective is willing to work on my business with me. I'm going to take advantage of it. Okay? All right. So with that being said, 10 years, a lot has changed in the economy, the market, agent count, our offices, a lot of things have changed. So some of the things I want to go over today is some of the changes going to happen next year with fees. All right, and for 10 years I really haven't raised fees on anybody, but yet everything has gone up. The cost of everything has gone up. And when you look at the cost of internet, the cost of electricity, payroll goes up, office space goes up, everything continues to climb over time, right? And you all the agents got a raise over the past few years. Didn't you?
Yes.
How'd you get a raise?
Value went up.
The value went up, so the amount of money you make per transaction goes up, but we did not, and that's okay. But what I looked at is as we're going through this, I never want to just raise fees on people and not give anything back. So we've structured some things differently, and as you've known over the past couple years, we've opened more locations. We've upgraded all of our locations to be on the same caliber as Green Valley's been. We've strategically placed them. We cover the entire valley now from the northwest all the way to Green Valley, all around the 215, which is easy to get to. We have 3 more satellite offices, one in the far, far north in Sky Canyon. How many of you been to that Smith's up there where you can go to the bar inside? Okay, we're in that parking lot. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not a huge office. It's a small satellite office. There's 4 offices. It's more of a team-size office. So if you've got a team or somebody that lives up there like to be in that, that's kind of what we're trying to build out of there. But it's a location that you meet clients, you can go to, you can work out of, all those kinds of things, because there's computers, there's a conference room, there's all that stuff. And so that's there. We've got our downtown location, which is Old Vegas, and that's probably our most dated office, right? But it kind of fits the motif of downtown, the mob, stuff like that. You never know who you're going to see walk in there. Just kidding. And then we've got the Sun City office, which is an upgrade too from where it was. We moved across the way. We took down more space and new carpet, new paint, all that kind of stuff. So we've upgraded all the offices for a total of 6 offices. We talk about technology. We've got our Signature app. How many of you guys use the Signature app? Okay, what do you guys use it for?
Everything. You use it for everything? I use it for everything.
Yeah.
So Thomas is using it great. He uses it with his clients and everything. How many of you are using it with your clients? 2 of you, 3 of you. 2. Okay, so it is set up that you can run your entire transaction through the app, your communication. Why would you want to do that?
Keep everything in one spot.
It's so simple to find everything instead of having to search emails and it's mixed in with everything else. Plus, when you get a notification on the app, you know it has to do with business, so you're able to respond to it faster. Who gets junk email? Yeah, right? The majority of my email that comes in is junk. I like to think I'm popular and I get 600 emails a day, but probably 3 of them matter, right? But I never can find those 3 in a timely manner. So the app is the quickest way to get hold of me, but it's also the quickest way to manage your business, your clients to get hold of you, and you to communicate with your clients if you get them to use it. Now, there is a curve to it, you know, because it's not where I'm used to going for information, so there's a little bit of time to use it. Who used to use the BlackBerry? Right? And who moved from the BlackBerry to the iPhone? How easy was that? It wasn't easy for me, you know, or even a Droid phone. Anytime you do it, you have to think every time you're using it or figuring it out, that kind of stuff. So, but if you do that for a few weeks, then it becomes more second nature. We're continuing to update the app. We just added a thing in there called Flows, and that's work processes, workflows. And so you can actually take your whole listing process, put it into a flow, and assign tasks to whoever does it, whether it be your transaction coordinator, whether it be your seller or your buyer or whatever, all the way through it. And all you have to do is launch a flow each time. It creates its own chat together with whoever you put into it and assigns them the tasks automatically. So you don't have to go through and assign tasks every single time. We're in the process of utilizing that for our onboarding process. And it's like a 15-step process that we can engage everyone that has anything to do with the hiring process or bringing on an agent, including the agent enough that it sends them a task to upload a file, which is what? Their headshot, because how many agents never have a headshot, right? We have such a hard time tracking that down. And I can see, and that thing will go red when that's delinquent, so we can make a phone call to say, hey, we need your headshot. Because we want your headshot, because we want to do marketing and want to get that pushed out and help you guys grow your business and also announce it to the industry that you're over here at Signature as well.
Do you make the flows on the desktop though?
You have to make the flow on the desktop, but you can launch them from your phone. Okay, and so watch for training coming up on that stuff, but I challenge you guys to utilize that. So one of the things is, we've had this app going on 4 years now.
Really?
It's just over 3 years. But here's the thing. No, it's going on 3 years, sorry. Just over 2 years, going on 3 years. We have just over 100 now clients in there. Like, I can see the names of people that are in there, and I can see who added them. But over almost a 3-year period, almost 600 agents have added 100 clients in there, and probably most of them have been Roya and Thomas. Okay? When as president of the board, I added Wendy DeVecchio, the CEO, and her assistant in the app because that was the quickest way for them to communicate with me. And they communicated and dropped files and everything in the app to me. And so not only the board stuff fell into the app, the communication with all the leadership team plus all the agents and everything else fell into the app for me, which helps me manage a lot of stuff. And so this is a huge, huge tool, communication tool, workflow tool that you guys can utilize in your business that's really being underused. And I think a lot of that might be because a lot of you don't know the capabilities of the app. And so we're going to do a better job of actually pushing that stuff out. So you've got your mortgage moments that come out on a weekly basis. You got Tom's tips, nuggets, and we're also going to do like a tech tip a week. And so it'll be short 1 to 2 minute videos that teach you about our technology and the stuff that we have and how you can utilize that in your business, okay? I think we have one of the best leadership teams in the industry. And I mean that seriously. With the amount of experience, the knowledge they have as being presidents and past presidents and of both the state and local, the way they're looked at and looked up to in the industry. You guys have brokers that have wealth of experience. You have immediate access to them, not only to the app, but they're in the offices. And I think they're underused. Like literally underused. We are here to help you guys grow your business. That's what a broker's for. Not just to take money from you, not just to sit in the office, but actually to be a resource to you, to bounce ideas off of, to help keep you out of trouble, to help you with questions as you're going through a transaction. I mean, we just had one the other day that, how many of you know that if you represent the buyer of a probate deal, and it goes to the court sale, and your buyer loses it, right, to somebody else, that you still get paid?
Yeah.
How much do you get paid? Half the commission, right? But you still get something. But yet, the agent didn't know that. He said, what happens? We lost it. I said, you still get a commission. You're going to have to go find them something else. You go through the process. They sent over the earnest money release to give the buyer back their earnest money, and the title company said there's no commission instructions or anything, so you're not getting a commission. And he says, I thought you said I get a commission. I said, you get a commission, you need to call the other agent. He called the other agent. The agent said, I've done 40 of these. I've never had the buyer lose it at the court sale. I did not know that. And so then he does the research, and it's actually in statute, it's the law. And so now he's getting a commission that he almost just walked away from because he didn't know. And so, like I said, utilize us as brokers and stuff. We're here to help you guys make more money and grow your business. Because the better you do, the better we do, right? They did a joke at Tom's Roast that I collect past presidents like Tom Brady collects Super Bowl rings. Because almost everyone on our leadership team has been a president of an association, which is good. In fact, to really something else is we are actually partnering with Marcella Sims up in Elko to open an office in Elko.
Oh, really?
And Marcella Sims is also a past president of Elko, so that's kind of a qualification, I guess. But yeah, even if you have clients in Elko, you'll have a place to stop into. So our leadership team was expanded this year also by bringing on Roya and Angela to help manage and assist you guys and sit down with you and mentor you guys and help coach you. If you haven't had a conversation with them, I recommend that you do, because they can help you in your business as well. And they've got a wealth of knowledge, and they're in the trenches as well. I mean, they're selling, they're building their teams, they're doing all the same stuff you guys are doing. So maybe they can relate, or you can relate to them a little bit better or differently. With that, all of our leadership team, including Roy and Angela, do coaching and consulting. And so we do have coaching programs, we do have pod programs, we have mentor pods and everything else that you can get into to help you with accountability. One of the things I've really noticed on having these calls with some of you guys that wanted to talk to me for 30 or 45 minutes is that accountability is missing. And we're not good at holding ourselves accountable. Why do you think that is? It's uncomfortable? It could be, but the thing is when you have a regular job where you go 9 to 5, if you don't show up to work, what happens? Who fires you? Your boss. Who's your boss in real estate? Are you going to fire yourself? Probably not, right? You should. Some of us really should. But in reality, we sit there and go, well, okay, and then days go by. I'll sit to people, how many of you know your numbers for last year? How many of you know how many deals you did and how much you sold? If you don't, you can request a report. Just send me a message in the app and I'll send you a production report of what you've done this year. That's important in planning. And when I had one yesterday and I said you did 4 transactions, and she about fell off her chair. She thought she did more. But you don't realize it because she's not keeping track of her numbers. She's not running it like a business. She's just making sure there's money in the bank account, right? She made good money. There were good sales, but it wasn't the numbers that she thought she had done. And many of us fall into that category. If it's not broke, we just don't look at it. We just go with the flow. We only change if there's a problem. Well, when you sit down and do your plan for next year, part of what you need to do is understand where you are this year and where you've been in the past few years to actually make that change. Because if you want to do significantly more business, you can, but you have to do something different, because what you're doing today isn't going to get you those same results. But the coaching and stuff is big. The other thing we do here at Signature is weekly sales meetings, and you guys are all here. But how many of you think every brokerage out there does weekly sales meetings?
Not much.
Do you think the majority of them do? Some of the bigger guys do, but most of them don't. Most of them will do maybe a monthly meeting, a quarterly meeting, or no meetings at all. And it's important, not only do we do live meetings, we also do them virtually so that anyone can see them. How many people we got online?
And to do a full breakfast.
About 30 people online.
So there's another 30 watching, and sometimes that's up to 65 or 70 when they've got a good speaker, But but we do the weekly sales meetings where we bring you information. We volunteer a lot of time at the board, so we have a lot of information that a lot of brokerages don't. And so you're in the know if you show up and you pay attention and you tap into it. We can't force you to get the information. We can put it out there for you, but ultimately you guys have to take a step in to get it. And the weekly sales meeting is a great way to do it. We share statistics, we sell things that are happening in the market. We do agent panels, we do broker panels, we do all kinds of things to help you guys in your business, and hopefully they're of value. The other thing we don't do is we don't bring a lot of salespeople. Right? We don't have home warranty and everyone else up in front of you selling you every week. We might change that, but no. The big thing is a lot of times they'll write a check to a brokerage to come in, and I've always been of the thing that I don't want you guys to show up to be sold stuff. Right? If there's value, then you'll come. If there's not, you'll stop. And so we try to keep that down, and if we do, it's to a minimum.
In the bacon breakfast.
Yeah, and you do have breakfast.
Thanks, Shelley.
As much as I've thought about doing away with the breakfast and going lighter, the second I said nobody eats it, everyone started eating it, so I heard you got the message. So, no, we do have breakfast because I think it's important that you come in, and I think it builds camaraderie and culture, and it allows you guys to have breakfast with each other and get to know each other. And it's important that you do that because that's where you can learn more than you'll ever know is the agent sitting next to you.
Right.
You know, bounce ideas off them, talk to them. What are you doing in this market? Stuff like that, because they'll have ideas and be able to help you through things that you're not even aware you need. We offer free CE classes and post classes, so brand new agents in their first year can take post licensing for free. But we almost have a CE class every week, don't we, Lois? And so you would never have to go anywhere to pay for a CE class if you just did them here. Right? How many of you take advantage of the CE classes? More of you should, because they're there. Yeah, so that's huge. We have a video department with Beta. We have marketing packages for video and stuff that he'll put together for you. How many of you take advantage of that? Not very many, right? But he's doing the videos, he's editing them, he's putting them out for you, he's giving them to you so you can utilize them. And the thing on that is the prices that are charged for that, you can't get anywhere else. Like, they're almost giving it away, aren't they? I mean, if you go out and actually price somebody to do video for you and edit it, it's going to be a heck of a lot more money. And so there's that opportunity. We have direct deposit. Believe it or not every brokerage in town has direct deposit. I don't know about you, but I don't like to go stand in line at the bank. And in fact, I hear they're doing away with a lot of the tellers, right? Chases. And I bank with Chase personally, but I'm going to tell you something. I bank with City National Bank on a company level or a corporate level, and I've never once stepped in a City National Bank.
Wow.
Never once. And then to me, it's because of direct deposit, because we can do deposits from the office, we can take care of all that stuff virtually now, that I never have to go in. So if somebody wrote me a check and I had to go into the bank, I'd use my mobile deposit first. But Chase has a limit on how much that can be. So, I mean, if you got a $20,000 commission check, you may not be able to do that through your mobile deposit. You got to go in, and then you got to wait for it to what? Clear? And so we do have direct deposit, which I think is a great asset. And that's an expense to us, by the way. That's not a free service that the bank makes money on that stuff, right? We have SkySlope. SkySlope is, and you probably really do because you've been through the changes of the different filing systems that we've had. We've gone through DocuSign transaction rooms to trying to build our own. Never do that again. And now we're into SkySlope, and SkySlope is easy to use. It's almost a standard in our industry. More brokerages across the country seem to use SkySlope than any other. And then the other thing we did with the frustration that everyone had with Remind this year, how many of you had Remind issues with the forms? Okay, that was a big deal. At any time, the board can change their agreement with any company, right, when their contracts are up, and change their provider. And that provider, now you have to relearn a new product, which slows you down in your business and everything else, right? And it was so frustrating for most agents that there was a pushback that the board ended up signing an agreement with Transaction Desk as well, so you have Remind and Transaction Desk. Well, I'm thinking, well, why would we ever want to rely on the board to give us any software, right, and have to worry about any changes coming in the future? And so we went to SkySlope, negotiated with them, and we now have SkySlope Forms. So if you learn SkySlope Forms, as long as you're with Signature, you never have to learn any of the others again. And it ties in with our filing system, it ties in with the DigiSign, and it all works seamlessly. You can use the others, but you don't have to. You make one more change to learn SkySlope Forms, and then you're good, right?
And it's easy, I'm sorry.
It's very easy.
Much easier than.
To me, it's a lot easier. So that's there. Many people may or may not know that. We've done a few sales meetings on it. There's trainings on it. But that, to me, is a huge benefit to have your forms in a system that we manage, that we control, that you don't have to worry about anything being risen or anything else like that. Because one of the things with Transaction Desk, any of you that had any files in Transaction Desk, if it went away, what happened to those files? They were gone. They were gone. And so now you would never have to worry about that. We do a yearly awards deal every year. Who's been to the yearly awards? I mean, we give out over 100 awards and plaques. Dinner. It's always a first-class event. Those aren't cheap, but I feel it's important. You guys work hard, you deserve the recognition, and we're going to work on updating the awards this year so they're not just glass plaques. There's something that you can put on your desk or something. Still time. Sign up for a call. So the yearly awards, we do the quarterly leaders lunch. Who's been at a quarterly leaders lunch? Okay, those are a great event to strive for. Typically, you need to do, but it's like a top percentage of the office, so it's kind of floating. But usually 6 transactions in those 3 months in that quarter will get you to the lunch. And those are great too, because who are you sitting next to? Other agents that are producing. The networking there is huge. When I first got into business, I made it to a quarterly leaders lunch with the brokerage. I was in Salt Lake, and I sat next to this guy named David Hooper, and he was a big deal in Utah. Don't make a blooper list with David Hooper. Now his son sells real estate, and he's super Hooper. But he has all these gimmicks and stuff like that, and I sat and had lunch right next to him, and he talked to me about his listing presentation and everything that he does. And at the end of that, I was like, why would you share all this stuff with me? He goes, because you're not going to do it. You know, most people don't do it. I have no problem sharing the information. But the fact of the matter is I did do some of the stuff, and it helped me in my business. And so there's an opportunity to go out and actually learn from others doing things that are producing in this market. So I think it's important that you strive to be at those quarterly leader lunches. We also do 3 client appreciation events a year. You got one coming up Saturday, right? And that'll be in the Northwest. That is the Paper and Pancakes. We do one in October, which is the Trunk or Treat. Shelley brought a food truck out to that. Thomas and a bunch of people decorated their cars. Tons of kids came by and stuff like that, got candy. And a lot of people's clients. Not enough clients, but the people that took advantage of it, it almost looks like Thomas puts on his own event, because it's mostly his people or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And so there's that event. And then around Easter, Henderson, we do the Easter egg hunt for the kids. And that was an awesome event this last year. It was great. There was ice cream, there was popsicles, there was all kinds of stuff.
Easter Bunny.
The Easter Bunny, Beta was dressed up as the Easter Bunny. Oh, sorry, I ruined it. But that is your ability to have 3 client appreciation events a year that you don't have to organize, you don't have to pay for, you just have to get people to them, right? And utilize it to help you build more business, right? And so those are given to you also. So let's talk about the 2 new fees, basically, that are coming up this next year. First of all, the transaction fee effective January 1 is going to go to $5.95. A lot of agents are already paying $5.95, so this will not affect them. Some of the people have been with me a long, long time. It will. It'll be a pretty significant jump, but it's necessary to get everyone to that level. I think that's, to be able to continue to provide the things we do and not start to cut back on things, we have to get to a fair deal, and I think that's fair. You know, we just cut a commission to somebody for 160 grand. You know, yes, they had to pay multiple transaction fees, but it was less than $3,000 you had to pay the company. There's a significant ability for you guys to make a lot of money, and we take a small portion, right? And so I would hope that you guys would be okay with that, but effective January 1, everyone will go to the $595. But with that, I also think it's important to give some incentives, right? Because it's not always fair to put all the weight on the people that produce to pay more, right? And so we've got some incentives that we're also starting January 1. And it'll be retro for what you did this year. Okay, so whatever you did this year, you'll get the credit for next year. And number one is 12 plus transaction. We're going to give you a $1,200 statement credit that you can utilize towards your monthly fee. So you wouldn't have to pay a monthly fee all year long. You could use it towards office rent if you have an office that you rent. You can utilize it towards video marketing. Or our newest thing, we just hired a marketing girl. And we're putting together marketing packages to help you guys do the flyers, the postcards, everything for your listings. And so there'll be marketing packages, and you can use these credits towards utilizing that stuff as well. If you do 24 plus transactions a year, we're going to give you a $2,500 credit. And if you do 36 plus, we're going to give you $5,900 back. Okay?
How many?
20 or 36 plus is $5,900. Okay?
Are rentals considered a transaction?
No.
12, you how much?
Yeah.
I just had a lot of rentals this year.
Yeah. If
The first one, 12, you how much?
12, $1,200, 24, $2,500, 36, $5,900, and you can utilize that in any which way to help you in your business. Okay, so that's kind of the trade-off on the transaction fee there. The other thing that is a big change. Let's just go to the marketing for a minute. You're going to start seeing different marketing come from Signature, and that's the stuff from the Natalie. Just the flyers, everything. We're looking at upgrading our brand across the way. We're a high-end lifestyle brand, and we want to portray that as we go out there. And we want your guys' marketing for your listings and everything else you do out there to be that same, a high-end lifestyle brand, right? It's more than just real estate. It's the Signature Life, right? And so we'll do more stuff with the hashtag Signature Life and more stuff to build that, but you'll start to see a lot better branding and stuff. If you've seen the Paper and Pancakes flyer, that was done by Natalie as well. And she is awesome. She went to school for it. She moved here from Texas to do it. And so right now she's doing a lot of stuff on the company side and working on the packages, but eventually she's going to be available to you guys as well.
In what capacity? Could you explain that a little bit?
Well, depending on the workload, we may be able to do some custom stuff for you too. Okay, but it won't be right off the bat because I've got a whole bunch of stuff we've got to revamp. All our marketing really has to be there. But for instance, we'll have a top grade A+ listing presentation, buyer's presentation, all the tools you'll need, brochures, stuff like that. We'll create flyers for different loan programs, stuff like that you guys can utilize to help you guys in your business.
And that can be used, that costs, that's an extra cost, right?
There will be extra cost on some stuff, but there will be other stuff that we're just providing as a company. But custom stuff, yeah, you'll have to pay. She's not cheap for me, but I'm not going to pass, it's not going to be expensive for you guys. Because to me, there's a benefit for you guys utilizing our marketing people so that we make sure the branding is what we want and the consistency goes out there. And so I want to make it easy as I can for you. And we're starting off right now, she's working on 3 to 4 different listing templates, which would be a flyer, postcards, and all the stuff that you would need for your listing. Open house flyer, everything. So you could just say, I want that. And you would order it through the app. You click on a link and you'd fill out a form and upload your pictures, and she would take care of it. She would communicate with the app for changes or whatever, and then you'd be off and running. And so to me, that is a huge, huge thing that we're bringing on that's going to benefit not only the company, but you guys. And that 595 allows us to do those kinds of things instead of shrinking. And a lot of companies in this market, when things get tight, what do? They start cutting costs. We don't want to do that. I think marketing is more important now than it's ever been.
Right.
Because you actually need to show that you're different than everyone else. And so we want to make sure that we're pursuing that instead of scaling back. Do you have that video? All right. January 10th, new software coming up for you guys for lead management to help you the middle of the funnel. And rather than me explain it, Real Scout has put together a video. We're in the process of building it all out, putting it all together. They've done this in multiple states. They're new to Nevada. They partner with certain brokerages in the town. But the benefit to you is huge. So we'll play this little video here so you can see what Real Scout's about.
Hi there, my name is Andrew Blackmer, co-founder and president of Real Scout. Today we'll cover the most popular ways that agents are using Real Scout, and you'll start to get a sense for why we were recently named the #1 resource for agents looking for a leg up. Today I'll show you how to capture every prospect and easily add them to Real Scout. Then we'll demo 2 proven ways to engage your sphere, and finally we'll dive into how you will convert buyers faster, sell more listings, and drive more profit. But first, let's examine where Real Scout fits with your marketing strategy. It's common for brokerages and agents to spend most of their effort and budget at the top of the funnel. It's here the brokerages invest countless hours and dollars into websites that fail to engage clients and lead gen investments which don't convert. After all, are more than 5% of your closings even coming from the top of the funnel? Or are they coming from sphere of influence, repeat business, and referrals? Are you spending time and money filling a leaky bucket? Even if you are generating a ton of new leads, are they flowing through to your bottom line? Many brokerages are finding higher ROI investing in the middle of the funnel, focusing on ways to more effectively capture, engage, and convert. And the #1 resource for that is Real Scout. So let's jump in with the first step, capture. The Real Scout experience starts when I get a new prospect, which happens automatically using integrations or manually from the agent dashboard. Let's take a look. Real Scout's native integrations and API can ingest new leads for my website or CRM, and if I advertise on a portal like Zillow or Trulia, I can integrate with Zillow Connect to instantly capture new leads. But the most common way is to simply invite new prospects using the agent dashboard. In this case, I met Sandra while running an errand, so I'll add her name and email address directly into Real Scout. Now that I've captured this new lead, I'm ready for Sandra to engage. In this section, we'll cover 2 ways to engage clients on Real Scout: natural language listing alerts and our all-new market alerts. Sandra's in the market to buy, so I'll create a listing alert. Real Scout has a direct feed from my MLS, meaning every field I expect is 1 click away. The interface is familiar and the results adjust in real time. From here, I can customize the alert schedule, and in this case, Sandra's pretty serious, so I want her to receive new listings ASAP. When Sandra receives my listing alert, unique features of each home are highlighted using natural language, which makes these emails personal. And these agent-branded emails see click-through rates as high as 30%. And when Sandra clicks these emails, she'll be automatically logged in to my agent-branded search experience. Here, it's all about collaboration. Clients can rate listings on a 5-star scale, ask questions about each home, and even request showings all in one place. Adding commutes is easy, so Sandra can see how long it will take to get to and from work. She can even organize her favorite properties and compare the ones she's most interested in. That's because Real Scout pioneered a way for clients to compare listings, automatically putting each room side by side. Easy apples to apples home shopping. As you can see, engaging a client with reliable listing data is a breeze, and they'll love you for it. But that's only one of the ways that I can engage Sandra on Real Scout. Because Sandra also owns a home, I suspect that she'll be in the market to sell soon, and I want to win the listing. That's where Real Scout's market alerts come into play. Just select a neighborhood, zip code, or draw a custom boundary to generate a preview. A heat map shows me the concentration of buyer demand on Real Scout. I can see how the volume of buyers looking in this neighborhood has changed over time, and even recent nearby sales. Unlike other platforms, this data is not watered down by casual searchers. These are agent-affiliated buyers who are actively in the market to buy. Once I save this as a market alert and choose the frequency, Sandra can access this living, breathing report to understand market activity and relative demand for her home. And I find out first when Sandra is ready to make a move. And that is how you take client engagement to the next level. With listing alerts, Sandra stays focused and dedicated to buying a home with me because there are no ads for other agents. And by sending valuable, timely market updates, I'll stay top of mind for when Sandra decides to sell. Now that Sandra is actively engaging with me, let's see how Real Scout helps me close the deal and convert using the client activity feed and test the market. Throughout Sandra's home search, I can see her activity in a detailed live timeline. I can drill down and see exactly where she's been searching, and if I notice Sandra wandering into other markets, I can use these insights to refocus her search. In this case, Real Scout told me that Sandra viewed the same property multiple times, so this seems like a conversion moment. I can suggest a private showing or ask Sandra what she thinks about writing an offer. And even if I didn't get a chance to log into my Real Scout dashboard, no problem. Real Scout will send me a push notification or an email when Sandra requests a showing or sends a message. By keeping up with client activity in my pipeline, I can now focus my efforts on the clients who are most likely to convert. The next tactic, test the market, is particularly useful when Sandra wants to discuss selling her existing home. Before heading into my listing presentation, I'll create a test the market report by entering Sandra's address. After adding a few other fields like bedrooms, bathrooms, and a target list price, this report will help me have a data-driven pricing discussion. A small adjustment in list price, for instance, will capture a larger segment of active buyers. And these are just a few of the ways to convert leads into clients and clients into transactions. With the client activity feed, I can respond instantly to red-hot buying moments and close the deal. And with Test the Market, I can build my seller's confidence so that I can win the listing. So, how do brokerages get results quickly with Real Scout? First, our team will migrate clients, contacts, and searches from your MLS or website into Real Scout free of charge. We also offer ways to integrate and automate lead flow from the top of your funnel into our high-performance lead conversion machine. By capturing, engaging, and converting your business in the middle of the funnel, you'll see a major ROI boost from your marketing investment. I hope you enjoyed this quick Real Scout overview. In the next day or two, you'll receive an email inviting you to activate your account. The quickest way to get results on Real Scout is to add your prospects, add your clients, and create your first property alert. Plus, take us up on our free offer to migrate your listing alerts and clients from other systems into Real Scout. We're looking forward to hearing about your success.
It's kind of CRM.
It's a lead management, so you wouldn't necessarily be for your past clients to schedule calls and stuff like that. It's a way to engage with them, to move them through your funnel. How many of you use Boomtown? Okay, the company Boomtown. So we're going to end. I've been talking about getting rid of that for a long time. We're going to migrate to this. They will take all your leads, all your notes, and everything else, and help you migrate them into this system. I think it's a better experience for the consumer. Just being able to side-by-side compare properties where it aligns all the kitchens, all the bathrooms, and everything else. I think it's a better experience for the client. How many of you use the MLS now for your alerts? A lot of people use that. They'll also help you migrate all that stuff in. I think that's important too, because if you know, or if you utilize the MLS for those types of things, you'll notice that over the years they've done what? Change the product, change the experience. Right now they're switching to One Home, which is supposed to be a better consumer experience, but I think this runs circles around it. And so this is a tool that you guys can utilize. The other benefit to this is you guys have control of your leads. I don't see them in a back dashboard like I do in Boomtown. And when you leave, I don't have to dump them all into my account so that you can move, because Boomtown doesn't allow me to delete leads. So I've got an account of my own that I can't use because I got 40,000 leads in there. But I've had Boomtown for 20 plus years.
That's the account overview, like.
Right. So, but the whole thing is there's, my commitment is not to work your guys' leads when you leave. This gives you control. I don't have to manage them. I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to run a dashboard to see who's putting what in. I mean, it's totally up to you guys to utilize it or not. they'll give me reports on who's using it, like which agents are putting people in, so I can have conversation with you guys to get more engagement. But I think this is a huge tool that you guys can use to change the experience that you guys deliver to your buyers. The other thing is, if you use the MLS, who else uses the MLS? Every other company and every other agent in the market. So how does that differentiate you? The experience of looking at e-alerts from you is the same as looking for e-alerts from ABC Realty, right? And so this will make it a different experience and you'll stand out. The other key is the stuff that it does for the listings, the amount of information that you can pull when you go on a listing appointment. We get the data back so that you guys can utilize it. Currently, yes, all the data is there, but who gets it? CoreLogic, title companies. Title companies have more statistics on you guys and the sales that we do than we as brokers and you guys have on yourself. So this gets that back because we get that data. You're able to use that in your listing presentations and stuff. And so as we wrap up, there's one big, go ahead.
When is that rolling out?
January 10th. Sales meeting will launch it.
What's the cost? Fee off that?
There's no fee for you guys. It's all included in your monthly and the $5.95, but it allows us to be able to bring this stuff to you.
Does it link with your CRM or?
Yeah, so like Follow Boss, anything like that, they have integrations with all that stuff. And they'll help you set that up, right? So they'll help you get dialed in so that it works for you. Okay, so the last change, the independent contractors agreement, and the thing that will affect you guys, but it's one of the things I'm most excited about. In your current independent contractors agreement, it reads that if you were to be sued, or the company was to be sued on one of your transactions, you as an agent are responsible for the deductible. Right, when we started out, the deductible was like $1,000, $1,500, then it went to $2,500, and then it went to $5,000. And this year, they didn't even give me an option for $5,000. They said the minimum you could do is $10,000. So if somebody filed a lawsuit today on you, you don't even have to sell something. They file a lawsuit because you showed them homes, you didn't get them the offer, whatever. And you don't even have to have done anything wrong because anyone can sue anyone for any reason. Doesn't mean they'll win in court, but there's still an expense to do what? Defend it, right? Defend it. And so you're automatically out $10,000. And this happened twice over the last year and a half. All right? One was over solar panels, right? And that's actually being settled today or tomorrow morning, finally, but it cost the agent how much money? $10,000, right? Guess what? The agent didn't have $10,000. So who did it cost $10,000 to? Me. And now I have to go collect it from the agent. So it puts me in a position now I got to go sue the agent. That doesn't sound fun to me, right? It doesn't sound fun to me at all. And I don't want to do that. And so then the other thing was we had another one, and the guy took a listing. Didn't sell the listing, took a listing, and got sued for taking the listing. Because the previous owner said that the new owner didn't have the right to sell it. Yet they've been on title for 6 years. So how was this agent supposed to know? He wasn't. Didn't do anything wrong, but guess what it cost the agent? Guess who didn't have the $10,000? Because it's a surprise, right? The market's shifting and all of a sudden you got to write a check for 10 grand? I'm sorry, I don't have it. Well, now it puts me in a predicament where I'm at odds with the agent because there's this issue. So I don't like to deal with that. I don't like to sue people. I don't like to go through that process. I think it's a waste of time. And so I figured, how can we make this so we can do away with the deductible? Because the insurance companies aren't. By the way, the insurance policy this year was almost $75,000. That's just the coverage right off the top, and then it's a $10,000 deductible. And that, it seems like a lot, but I'm grateful to have to pay that. And the reason being is because we do enough transactions, we're a company size, and we weren't paying that, right? And so there's pluses to growing, and there's negatives to growing big, but one of them is the cost of the E&O. So we came up with almost like an internal insurance policy. And so once a year, sometime in the spring, and we're going to alter it so it's not the same month as dues for the board or any key fees, so it doesn't put undue pressure. There'll be a one-time $400 fee once a year. And that will take care of your E&O deductible insurance, basically, so you wouldn't have to worry about being sued. That you would have to pay $400 for 25 years to pay $10,000.
Wow.
And so, yes, it's there. it will become a legal fund basically for us to help fight these things. And then ideally, there will be money left over that we can pursue hiring an in-house attorney on staff to help you guys through everything. And that'll be just kind of your fair share towards that legal side. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the big changes. $595 transaction fee and a one-time $400 fee per year for the E&O, and that takes care of your
You're
deductible.
gonna keep it like in the middle of the year though? It's kind of good because we have so many things.
Yeah, I'm looking at March, you know what I mean? And there will be another option that we could divide it into 2 payments through the year. It'd be a little bit more money to do that, but maybe $225 in March, and then six months later, maybe another $225. Okay, so we'll have some options like that to make that easy. We'll work through it. We'll do whatever we can to help you through the process. But the alternative is worse, you know. The alternative is much worse. I mean, nobody likes to write that check, right? Okay, any questions or comments for me? Anything I can do to help you guys?
Question?
Yeah.
Any idea how many agents we still have at the end of the year?
Right now, we're about 560.
No, the whole,
Utah has about 175.
Nevada and Vegas.
Oh,
Vegas,
Oh, like ours? I think we just dipped below 17,000.
Oh, so we're still way up.
Yeah, we're still way up there. I think you'll see the major declines in membership at the board come after January, because the year dues, the yearly dues are due, and so you'll see a lot of people not necessarily renew on that. Kelly?
I got a comment I have to make, because I've been here for, not quite the beginning, but almost.
Pretty close.
I've been paying $375, I think, a month for my transaction fee. And Ed and I were talking downstairs a while ago about that. And he had an agent who he was bringing on board, I believe, and that was one of the things I told her. I mean, I didn't want to, I wasn't sure to say or not, I knew he was paying more, but man, that guy grandfathered us in for me for 9 years. 9 years.
I know, we were talking about that the other day.
Unbelievable.
And then I changed it.
I think I told you it was the same
But
day.
yeah,
It was
you know
almost
what?
the same day.
I'm glad to pay $5.95.
Me too.
I'm thrilled to
Yeah,
pay
right. It's not-
$5.95
it's
because of one thing. I hate to sound like I'm kissing his ass, but because this guy.
Yeah.
We got integrity. He brings us all these great tools. I don't want to pay $6.95, but if you charge me
Here's to not having to raise the fee for another 10 years, right? No, I appreciate that, Ally. I appreciate that. But the thing is, just know that yes, we've raised that, but we're not skimping on anything.
It's way overdue.
We're stepping it up, so. But yeah, any other comments or questions? You guys are like, I'll never come again, it cost me money. All right, if you have issues with the transaction fee or anything like that, and you want to talk about it, feel free to reach out to me, and we'd be happy to talk through it. Marlo?
You know, I'm sorry I walked in late, but when is Girl Scout available?
January 10th. Yeah, it's in the process of being all done with the MLS and that type of stuff. So they're new to this market. But I know we've signed with them. I know Sotheby's has signed with them. There's some big brokers in town that have. And the beauty of that is we get the data from all of our clients searching that you're able to utilize. And so it's a good thing. It's kind of like a broker co-op type thing. And so, all right, guys, go out there and sell something. Thanks for coming.